Namaskar, hello and welcome to CIET NCERT's special live phone-in program webinar on ICT tool. Today we are going to discuss the journey of a National ICT Awardee. Well, we all know that journeys are not easy and every journey is different and unique. And getting a National ICT Award, it's not a piece of cake. One has to work real hard to get this award. And we have an expert in this program with us who will be discussing his journey, his challenges, his ups and downs, and he is Mr. Murlidhar Shingri. Welcome, sir.
Hello, Tanviji.
Hello, sir. Sir is a National ICT Awardee of 2016. He is an Assistant Science Master from Government High School, Karkihalli, Koppal, Karnataka. And he is also an MSc, B.Ed and MPhil. So a lot of degrees he has, a lot of experience he has. If you have any questions regarding his journey, if you want any clarification, please reach out to us. Give us a call on our number 8800440559. You can also email us on training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. I'm Tanvi Khurana and we'll be discussing this entire journey throughout till 5 o'clock. So we'll take your questions towards the end of the program, and if you are watching us live on PM eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12 and also on our YouTube channel NCERT Official, there's another option through which you can share your questions with us. Write down your questions in the live chat box of our YouTube channel and share them. And now let's begin this discussion, and I would like to ask Sir, how was your journey? What is it that you're going to share about your journey to all our viewers in this program?
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you for the CIT and NCERT for giving this opportunity to share journey of an ICT awardee. Of course, it was not much easy for us to take a big leap from a normal teacher to an ICT teacher and go to the level that you take a National ICT Award. It was very difficult rather. I basically, as you know, my education is, I have taken a B.Ed in the Biological and Physical Sciences, completed my MSc and MS in Botany with medicinal plants specialization, and completed my MPhil degree in botany. So botany and biological and physical sciences have no much touch with the ICT. Rather, it was very difficult for me. To tell about my experience, I have merely about 20 plus years of experience. Served as an assistant science teacher in the school where actually I learned. I got an opportunity to serve my school, and later on I worked as a biology teacher at a national level school also, and then further as a lecturer in biology because I had completed my MSc. So I started working in a college where I taught to both the PUC students and even at the degree level students also. So that was a very paradigmatic shift for me from a school level to a college level, and then back again. I wrote some exams and then I became a government high school teacher. Again, there was a shift from college lecturer to an assistant science teacher. And till now, I am working here in government high school, Karkihalli. As you can see here in this video, I will be just sharing you the location of my school, how it is. This is our staff here. And if you see, our school is located in a very remote area. It's a rural area called Karkihalli, and our school is also far away from the village. The village is having merely some 700 people staying around, and it is besides the Tungabhadra Dam. The backwaters are there, you can see that, and it's surrounded by so many temples, and if you see there, the village is having very few houses around. This is the village, a very small village. You can see the backwaters of our dam there, and that route takes to the school outside to a district place called Koppal. Yeah. So this is our school actually, completely outside in a remote place. So to begin with the journey of an ICT awardee, I would like to broadly classify this journey into two parts: before my National ICT Award and after my National ICT Award. How the journey was before and after. Well, in my school we had this ICT. Of course, there were some basic computers at that time, but very less developed area with less current availability, frequent power cuts. In such things, we used to gather all the students in one place, and then whenever the power is available, we used to make them enjoy this the beautiful journey of ICT, the power of internet, the tools which are there in computers. We used to teach them in one room because there was a lot of power cut and all. But later on, when the ICT phase 2 also came at the right time in 2013, I entered a very unique concept which was organized by our state government of Karnataka. So it was called a subject teachers forum. And in this forum, the teachers have to come together, and they will be shared with so many tools and all. And the resources what we create, they will be shared among the group of teachers. So there were some Google groups in which we used to share the resources what you have made, and if there are some questions they could have reached, and there were so many people who had some experiences. They used to share their experiences with a bit less experienced teachers. That's how this was working. But very amazing thing happened in subject teacher forum, that they were doing it all through public software or open source software called as Ubuntu, which is a customized version of Ubuntu. Now, this was having a very nice impact on us, and I was luckily selected as a master resource person and later on trained as a state resource person also, and started cascading all that I learned. So this is actually, these are some of the open source tools, and these we were being taught of. We had been taught about all these things, and we used to train other teachers on using this. But to train, we had to explore a lot. So the exploring of all these very open source tools started, and I started exploring these tools one by one, creating so many resources. Like we used in fact a lot amount of simulations were there. In fact, free mind to create mind maps, Calism to show about the chemicals and even the periodic table, freebie again to create mind maps and all. So this is how, and KTurtle and this open short video editor, Stellarium, all these, like a Blender, which is again actually a Blender, which you can say has a very friendly interface of creating animations also. Learned a bit of these also. All these were open source tools, and we were exposed to these tools. And not only we were exposed to these tools, I got an opportunity to even explore these tools and let them make them known to some of the teachers who has come as MRP in Bangalore. This is the one, it's a photograph I'm just showing you here, where in Bangalore, the STF training is that I was selected as a SRP and was giving training to MRPs. Here you can see teachers exploring the tools, because now we can say ICT, as you can say, been extensively used because of COVID and because of the students' non-availability in the classroom. Now it is very easy, but at that time it was very difficult for teachers to explore the you can say tools of ICT because nobody had access to computers a lot. So at that time, we had to take the teachers towards this ICT, and we had to explore it first. So we had to explore, and then we had to take the other teachers also in this journey. So like this, we started training teachers, and a breakthrough came in my life when actually I started, can say, creating some mind maps, and I entered a very useful program, again organized for state level, our state, COED. This was a very beautiful open educational resource, which was planned to be created by some 24 teachers of us, a group of teachers was selected, and we had to create wiki pages. Now, wiki pages was very much new for me because I had to create the web pages here. So for that, they found out a very unique way that we can create mind maps, and through mind maps, we will navigate the pages. So with that unique plan, they went through. We created a lot of mind maps. So like this, we started assessing or exploring the tools of creating mind maps, like FreeMind, Freebie, and VUE. So all these were very helpful for us to create mind maps, and COED turned out to be very successful. So we created a lot of web pages like this, and these were shared to our teachers. And the biggest challenge here for me was we were creating the web pages, but to make it more interesting, we had to use many other resources. We had to explore many other resources, and then we had to create some videos also. So now it was a very difficult task for me because I had never created any videos earlier. So with the help of certain tools like OpenShot Video Editor and creating some simple PowerPoint presentations, slowly I started exploring how to create my own resources. And the biggest challenge at that time was there were very less videos in the regional language. And we had to create the videos in regional language. First of all, we started with dubbing the voice, so giving voiceover. And later found that it was also not better because we need to cascade it to our children. So they were not comfortable anyhow. So we had to create again our own resources, create our own source for the video, and then create a video. So we started using PowerPoint presentations and some animation tools, and then started creating some effective videos. Now I have created so many of the videos, but at that time I started my actually journey of creating video with a simple experiment made by Yuri Miller, and that has brought me so many views nowadays. So this is how I began to create a video, and at the same time we had to teach the concepts of this STF and core to the teachers. So trainings of nearly 10 days were organized. So this is, there are some of the batches. Here I have mentioned shown 2 batches here. So like this we used to handle so many of the batches there. And nearly in STF and in choir, we have trained, especially I was involved in training nearly more than 100 teachers at that time. So it was a hectic schedule. We had to explore ourselves more and then teach the teachers how to create their own resources. This was all about creating their own resources. And I can find here in recognition of the work at the time. So through the ICT for Change, this was an organization who was technically handling the government endeavors. So they gave me a recognition because it was very difficult in our areas to promote ICT. At the time we started promoting ICT, and we were very much successful because in this batch alone, nearly I found that nearly 20 of the teachers at the second or third day, they bought laptops to the training place in the workshop, and they bought new laptops and they started using it. It was so encouraging for us, and it inspired us that we were going the right path, and it again inspired us to explore more about all these ICT resources. This is how it went on, and at that time, these Google groups, what had been created, had created a very huge news. And I have just cutting off a newspaper over here, which actually they had an interview with me, and they asked how I was promoting ICT, and they actually were amazed to know that these Google groups were helping the teachers to interact in such an effective way, because all these teachers, we all were very far away from each other, but the experience of one teacher was very much useful to a teacher who was staying in a totally very far away place. So they were able to connect with Google groups, and they were able to share their ideas and come out with some innovative thoughts. So that's what had made a big news there. And we used to use some Stellarium like softwares actually to bring the whole sky in the classroom. So it was very amazing part there in Stellarium. And even we actually were amazed to handle a tool called as FET. So the biggest challenge for me whenever I entered a classroom, as I've told you, this is to ring in my mind, am I to my students what the best teacher was to me? My best teacher has taught me the fine things, and he has made me efficient in understanding some certain concepts. But am I able to do that? So this was the question which ringed me, and believe me, this technology with all these computers, laptops, phones, cameras, digital projectors, and this internet and Google, these all give me strength to actually come to the expectation of the children. ICT helped me a lot at that time, because we were exploring so many new things, and especially I would like to speak about one such simulation called as FACT, where even not only we teachers can demonstrate them, but even children can even handle these things by their own, and they will be able to see how things work and understand things very easily. It is like you can say playing with this, especially do and learn, of course, is a concept, but it's similar to do and learn, where the children will do a lot of things in the simulations and they are learning. And this was the best thing of ICT which I explored and started using in my classroom. Well, the result was very amazing. A small place like Karkehalli, a remote place like Karkehalli, where we were not thought about children who could explore. They could explore and go to a level where one of our students, he achieved going to Inspire Award 2015. So this was a landmark for us, because children used to not come out of their couch. They used to be so shy, because it was a very remote place. So in such a remote place, we were able to create some certain students who could excel themselves and go outside. And actually, this was all because of the miracle done by ICT. Now, I started using ICT and expanded it more. I wanted to make my students as researchers. I wanted them to involve in research. And I used this ICT for data analysis and representation. Every year, we do a project. And we do a research project with different topics. And lot of this research work can be done by using Google. Google was the one which quenched the thirst of the children to understand so many things about the organisms and different techniques of collecting the data, and to know on what researches are going on, and what are the metadata, the concepts available to collect and track the metadata like this, and some miraculous things like mind maps. They helped the children to gather the whole concept at one place and understand the concept holistically, so that they got a hold on the research what they're doing. So like this, they started doing a lot of research. So my students, they went out in their areas and experimented in the fields. So many research work was going on. I remember some of the best research works done by the students, where dragonfly as indicator as an indicator of rain, a very unique research project done by our children, which was very much appreciated by many people. And again, a unique is a research project called as ESAP, so electronic solution for agricultural pests, hydrogels in agriculture, money plant boon to soil. So like this, there were so many things. These are some of the photographs where students are presenting their projects. Yeah. And one of those projects, as I told you, had become very famous. So the Dragonfly project. So this video went to the Breakthrough Junior Challenge contest. It was one of the unique challenges which will be held every year. So one of the video went there, but of course she couldn't merely make a mark there, but she was able to attract the attention of so many people. So this was a very beautiful video, which was showing how the project was being handled and how she collected the metadata and all. Well, in doing all these things, somewhere my children used to feel that, sir, what we are learning, we are not remembering a lot. So I remember my days when I was suffering with such type of dilemma, that I was once going through competition success review. I just heard about a book called as Mind Mapping by Raj Bhavna. So why not try this technique on the children? I thought, and I created this first mind map of my own, and then started sharing and creating so many mind maps like this, and shared it with the children. And the result was amazing. Children started to keep the concepts in their minds and really telling the whole of the lesson in bringing it in one view and then repeating it back whenever it was asked. So they were able to read it. And when these mind maps were made very creative, and some of the teaching strategies and some mnemonics were used there, it was really highly effective, and students used to recall them. So seeing all these things, until here was the journey before National ICT Award. We excelled a lot, but recognition to this, I was awarded as a National ICT Award for teachers in 2016, which was given away on September 17. So it was bestowed by our Honorable Vice President of India at that time, so M. Venkaiah Naidu ji. It was actually an eye-opener for me, and you can see some of the interactions here. Could interact with the Honorable President also, and we received the award. And so many of the gifts came to us, and the award is a certificate and is a medal. Very much overwhelmed with happiness while getting this. I thought, now I had reached the zenith, and now I'm well versed. I got a ICT award, so I was happy, but I didn't know that this is not the end here. It's a new beginning. Unless I went to a workshop which was held in RI Mysore. We were very happy to meet some of the eminent people over there, like Angel Ratnabai Madam and Rajaram Sir and Paili Sir. The late Paili Sir was very excellent in mind mapping And Rajaram sir gave us a lot of inputs regarding the ICT, how to use ICT. And Angel Rathabai, madam, I'm just very much thankful to you because you taught me a very beautiful concept called as TPACK. That is the Technological, Pedagogical Content Knowledge Framework. After receiving this knowledge, the whole of the concept of making the resources was completely changed. It was like filtering my concepts. Like we are using all those rubbish things, everything inside a resource and creating it without understanding anything, who is the spectator, for whom I am making it, and how should I make it, why should I make it. Certainly, a lot of questions are raised here, and it changed totally my view. So I started thinking in a different way. So I started cascading the knowledge or creating the resource based on the requirement of the children. Well, I was very happy because at the same time, a new project came up with the ICT curriculum, which was an MHRD initiative. They started a training for teachers called as TALP. That was a technology assisted learning program that came through, and even I was selected as a resource person there and cascaded the knowledge there. We learned a lot of tools and open source tools once again. Now what earlier I had learned the tools, I had to now explore them more and use them according to the need, so that the teachers also can prepare some resources and use them in the classroom, because they have to tailor their own resources now. Using the resources made by others would not be much effective. So we started cascading the knowledge to the teachers, and again in TAL we trained hundreds of teachers. In it was a 10-day very fruitful sessions where the curriculum, ICT curriculum, had given us certain tasks and assignments. The teachers has to do them, and we used to train these teachers to do the same. It was a very hectic activity. A lot of teachers were trained in our diet. Okay, and later on, as and when I went on, I can say, exploring the resources, it was a totally different world open to me. I not only started learning, I can say, through exploring the tools, but I also started learning more tools online. And very much interesting open educational resources, like those all came to my mind, and I started exploring open educational resources. So you can see the certificates here. So many open educational resources are there. They give knowledge freely, and they give certificates even when you complete them. So doing all this, I was so well versed now, I just wrote my own paper and submitted it to the international journal. So I could do this because I started exploring these tools. Thanks for NCRT, CIT, the ICT curriculum framework, and TAL had done miracles in my life. You can see here I excelled a lot. I could complete my KCET examination even though in such a busy schedules, because I was already now well versed in exploring neatly and managing my time and resources. At the same time, NCRT bestowed me with this key resource person certified. I was certified as a key resource person, that's a KRP, for Induction 1 training. So Induction 1 training was first training from TAL. So like this, the journey went on. We started exploring. And not only these things, I started, I attended this national conference where I got a large amount of knowledge actually. And in COVID, we used to share some ICT tools. What we knew, we used to share them. And because it was COVID pandemic going on, teachers were staying in home and working from home. At that time, they got an opportunity to know the resources made by other teachers. So I shared a few of them. I shared digital story making using Olive. So this I shared in Hindi as well as in English, and that's how they certified me. Well, that was not actually a constraint. In COVID, we went further, though it was pandemic. I started exploring certain courses. I collaborated with Universal Teachers Academy, interacted with them, learned some 5 days course and online courses, making Android apps. We created few apps also, and then we taught the teachers also. I was involved as a resource person also in Universal Teachers Academy, and then we taught them how to create small apps and GIFs and so many other small resources which are very helpful in cascading education. Well, ICT helped a lot to the community of teachers in pandemic, because in COVID times, it was very difficult to reach the students, to bring them to the class. So we got a good opportunity. All what we learned through ICT, all the tools what we learned now came to our use, came to our rescue. So we started creating what all we wanted to do for the children. I created a lot of videos, video lessons, and created many of the pictographs. These pictographs are really very effective things, which give complete idea and a very picture form, and they're very interesting. So like this, we created a lot of pictographs and shared them to the children. And of course, this was done by so many of us. We interacted online with the children, and not only through one platform, through various platforms like Teachment and Google Meet and Microsoft, and we used so many other softwares like Queer to actually show some of the 3D cancer pictures and make the students interact online. So this was really amazing, a different type of scenario for the children, and they were enjoying a lot with all these tools of education. And of course, my favorites are online interaction with this live worksheets. The live worksheets are so much comfortable for the children. I send a live sheet to a child. He does according to the direction. So for example, here is a labeling of a neuron. He has some parts over here and he labels them. And as he labels, it will give him marks there. So you can see children securing out 10 out of 10. It was so motivational for the children. We created so many types of such live worksheets and interacted with the children. So this is all the beauty of education technology. Created so many quizzes. We have created blogs there. So all this was because of the exploring what we made while we were teaching other teachers. The TAL, STF, COER, all those tools, all the journey was helpful here for us. And amalgamating all those things in one place, we had created a lot amount of resources, and those teachers who are very serious in exploring, they also have used ICT to a very effective extent in the classrooms, especially in COVID. Well, at present I'm working as a district technical person for Diksha, MRP for ILP, that is India Literacy Project. Especially we have a kit, experimental kit there we have to cascade to the teachers. And I'm a resource person for a Jnanajyoti program, which is actually designed for the holistic development of the schools in our Koppal district. And actually I was able to create so many work sheets, workbook called as Chigro, which is a part of a Jnanajyoti program. Along all this, I do my routine duties as a science teacher. So I've been extensively used as a resource person, and this is because of all the journey, all these training sessions given by MHRD and our state government. So all these trainings have made me capable of handling so many resources at a time. I do all this with my routine job. Well, to come to end of my session, to finally wind up, I would like to say, every profession has its tool. Why not teacher or teaching profession must have tools. See, a farmer has his own tools and he improvises his tools or he borrows them for agriculture. He uses his own tools. Nobody gives them. Why not teachers create their own resources by exploring these ICT tools? Yes, ICT has become an excellent tool in education, and we must do our own professional growth, because if we don't professionally grow, we cannot tame our children for tomorrow. So teachers have to become good facilitators, and ICT will help them a lot in their journey. Well, to say here, if we teach today's student as we taught yesterday, we rob them of tomorrow. So using of latest technology to teach these students who are very much high in their IQs and very curious students, and the 21st century students, they need something else apart from chalk and talk or something do and learn. So they need some extra boost in their learning process, and here ICT can help. Fine to say.
Sir, we've got last 5 minutes left for this discussion.
Yeah, madam, and this is the last slide.
Sure.
What we need isn't better technology, but better teachers to manage students in the classroom. Nobody knows teaching like teachers, so no technology can replace a teacher. So we must not be afraid of technology replacing teacher. We have to use technology extensively in the classroom so that we can give our children better tomorrow. Thanks all. Thanks for your patience for listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for showing us the awards you have received and what all you've done throughout your journey for getting this ICT National Award. And congratulations on your award too. Before we end this program, we have got last 2 minutes left and we would like to take up a few questions. Will that be okay, sir?
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. So you mentioned TPACK in one of your slides. Would you like to explain it a little further? What exactly is TPACK all about?
Yeah, ma'am. TPACK is an excellent a collection of thoughts. Like when we use ICT in education, we are baffled. See, we simply prepare the tools without understanding whom we are teaching to, and why we are teaching, and what is the motto, what is the mental level of the children. So without knowing all these things, we are blindly making a resource. Here, TPACK actually opened my eyes here. So in pedagogical knowledge was integrated with the technical knowledge and the content knowledge. We all amalgam them, we all combine these together and we create resources. Because simply using technology is not enough. I have a lot of knowledge on content, but how to integrate technology and this knowledge, content knowledge, is totally a different thing. We have to come across so many facts there. We have to understand so many things there. So, and we have to use some pedagogical knowledge here. So that is how to cascade this knowledge. What strategies I am going to use. So we have to rethink on these things. This is what TPACK is about. It's a framework where it tells us how to, combine my content knowledge, my pedagogical knowledge, and my technological knowledge. Way to use my technology, is the use of a video necessary in my lesson? If it is not necessary, why should I show that? If it is necessary, then only I have to use some resources. Otherwise, there will be a wasteful process. So this is how TPACK tells us exactly how the resources should be designed according to the need of the children and need of my classroom. That's what TPACK deals about.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. And we don't have any more time, otherwise we would have taken more questions. But thank you so much for this entire explanation and presentation. And thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you, Tanvi Madam, and thank you CIT and NCRT and or the ministry for giving us such a nice opportunity to share our ideas, share our journey. Thank you,
Thank
Anil.
you. Thank you to all our viewers for watching this program and for listening to the journey, this important and fun and exciting journey of a National ICT Awardee. If in case you have missed this session, then please watch it on ncertofficial, our YouTube channel. And don't go anywhere, we're coming back with another special program of our Sayog, Guidance for Mental Well-being of the Children. And the topic of discussion would be substance abuse, a harmful effect on youth. So stay here, don't go anywhere, keep your questions ready and keep on watching NCRT Official, our YouTube channel. Namaskar.